Hello all. So let's continue with the last part of this tutorial, modeling, texturing and lighting a 3D stall in Autodesk 3ds Max. So let's get started. So as you can see over here, we are going to do the light setup over here. That's a V-Ray light setup. For such kind of lights, what we'll be utilizing over here is like we'll be utilizing some of the IES lights. So let's go into the lights. Let's take a V-Ray and we have a V-Ray IES. Let's go to the top view and let's put a light over there and let's push this light a bit up, push it over here. So if you want, you can just make it into more of a realistic. So just shift this over here, select the light, let's go into the light and you have light color. Let's take a bit of a light color over here, click OK. Now into this IES light we have some IES presets. So let's go into this IES presets. So let's go into this and let's extract this IES presets. So let's go into this IES light pack. So if you see this light packs, you can just check it out. Whatever the best light packs you require it, you can take those light packs. So these are different light packs which you can utilize it. So I like one of this, so I'll take one light pack over here. That's this one. That's your display. So I'll be taking this display light pack over here. So how we'll be doing it over here is like go into this IES. Into this IES you can call the file, that's your IES pack, and display spot dot IES. You can just call that IES preset over here, and if you want to just push it out or something, whatever you want to do, you can just give that stuff over here. So let's copy this and let's take this preset. So wherever this preset is required, you can take those presets over here. So let's again, I'll duplicate this preset over here and I can just push this over here. That's a so much better way. So after this step, what I am going to do is I am going to take one V-Ray light. I'm going to take one V-Ray light over here. I'm going to just place one V-Ray light. That's for your fill. So let's go over here and let's give a bit of a color over here. So reduce its multiplier. So you can just take one light over here, rotate it. You can just focus this light, and if you want the target, you can just set the target over here, and you can just push this light a bit up, and into this light you can go into this options. Into this light options, what you can do is you can off few of the stuff, like, and make it double-sided, make it invisible. So if you off this, make it double-sided, and let's take one more light over here. I'll take one more light I'll copy this light and I will off its shadow over here. So you can just off the cast shadow option from here, and you can off the target if you want. And I'm definitely going to place this light right from this view over here. And if you activate the target, this target, I'm going to keep it like this over here. So select this light again over here, and you can just reduce its intensity, make it lesser. So Shift F. So what I'm going to do now over here is like let's go into some of the render settings. So let's go into render setup. Very first of all, let's go into the V-Ray and let's type. We can, that's your adaptive subdivision. That's what your specifies the sampling quality. So rendering, make it normal, and filter, that's your filter. Let's make it as a Catmull room. That's your pronounce edge enhancement effects. Normal threshold, that's your noise. If you that's normal threshold, keep it as it is. You can go down. So if you want to increase it, subdivisions or something, that can be done over here. So global DMC, you can go into this, make it advanced, and you have a noise also. We can increase the noise threshold. That's your, we have increased it, that's your 0.005. that's a perfect 0.0005. So you can make it to 0.005. Sample, minimum sample subdivisions, you can, if you want to increase its subdivisions, you can increase it. Environment, GI environment, you want any kind of a global illumination with the reflections and all this stuff, you can put some environment if you want. You can use HDRI also. If you want, you can use a HDRI also over here. So now let's go into this GI, enable GI. You can go into this Autodesk map, and that's your light bounce, your primary engine, secondary engine. You can make it as a light cache, and you can go into this your presets, that's your current presets. Let's make it as a medium. Can increase its subdivisions, over here. So let's keep it as it is. We're not going to change much of its elements right now. So I'll just keep this stuff over here. So you can just use Shift and F. That's your save frames. And let's go into rendering and let's see the rendering. So if you think that it's the light is very high for the IES stuff, you can reduce those lights. Like you can reduce the intensity of that lights. That's your power. You can make it to 1000. Let's render it better. So if you give some texture on the floor, that would be much better. So we can assign some, floor textures. Assign some floor textures. So if you assign a better floor texture for the ground, you can take it as a wooden also. So you can take it wooden floor textures. So let's take uh, one texture over here. Strong. That's it. Alright. So let's go into material. Select this. Let's go into material and let's take a V-Ray material over here and let's assign a wooden texture. So we have a wooden texture and let's give a bit of reflection and assign the texture. That's it. So once you assign the texture, you can just have a look. So definitely texture will on the floor will give you a much better look. You can reduce its reflection a bit because the reflection is very high, so you can just reduce its reflection and you can just render it back again to give a much decent look over here. So as you can see over here, we have assigned the lights, that's your IES lights, and we also assigned the uh, two V-ray lights, like from this direction and from this direction. And let's see the result. So if you want to generate the light passes, you can also generate the light passes. So you need to extract all those passes individually, like your diffuse pass, your beauty pass, your specular pass, ambient occlusion, self-illumination, your light pass, shadow pass, reflection pass, refraction pass. So these are all the passes which you can assign it, and you can finally composite it. So if you have animation, then you can generate those passes in the form of sequences and render it. And composite in any of the applications, like you can composite in After Effects, you can composite in Nuke or Fusion. Or if you have a single frame passes, you can composite it in Adobe Photoshop also. So in this way, you can generate those output. So you can reduce the tile size if you want. You can reduce it. So whatever best way you can assign that, you can do that. And that's your final output will be generated. So IS lights is a good option for generating, you know, wall lights. So we can generate those outputs in this way. So it's going to take some more time. So as you can see, we have done this rendering stuff over here, and if you want to save this file, you can easily save your file over here. You can just click over here and you can save your file. So thanks for watching this tutorial.